so I don't usually do videos about role-playing games, but this time I had to, because Monte Cook is of a different kind of evil than most of the evils I talk about. Usually when I talk about evil, I talk about people that are malevolent for its own sake. Monte Cook is the kind of evil where he has the power to do good and yet chooses not to. He chooses to remain neutral, and by extension he has made his choice, and he has chosen evil. Because when you have the power to do something and then don't, what is your excuse other than malevolence? So by not taking a stance, he has taken a stance, and it's the wrong stance. The fact is, apparently Monte Cook has stopped working on Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. And he says it's not because of any problems with the staff, it's the problems with corporate itself. But he would not go into detail. He's probably legally obligated not to. He's probably under contract that he's not allowed to really talk about it, because I notice a lot of corporations do that. Technically, I am under a Google contract not to talk about partnership. It's like fucking Fight Club. And really, what is there to tell you about? I don't get paid shit anyway. If I did, I'd probably be able to afford a better webcam than this. And I'd probably have, a green screen and things like that, and I could definitely give you a more entertaining series. But I don't make jack shit for partnership. I don't even know if I could tell you this, but I haven't even gotten my first paycheck yet. That's how little I earn. Where you need a certain amount of money to get a check, and I have not reached that yet. So, I'm not going to give you exact details because that's what it says not to do, but I will bend it. Because, as much as fucking moderators and other rules makers like to bend things, guess what? I can be an earthbender too. But I'm not even asking Monte Cook to be an earthbender. All I'm saying is, go on 4chan or something, post anonymously, and spill your guts out to the world what is wrong with corporate. You can indulge on all of Wizards of the Coast secrets, and there'd be no way to connect it back to you. Because how do they know it isn't some other staff member involved in 5th edition, going rogue and talking about it and shit? They would have no way of knowing. So, if you wanted to, you could end this shit right now. You could end the corruption, you could end the bullshit, you could end the way they treat the consumer base, and you could avenge Gary Gygax's death. Let's face it, Gary Gygax died of a broken heart of what the company did to his creation. Dungeons & Dragons is nothing like it used to be. The fan base is just full of stupid-ass queers and fucking moderators and shit from Giant in the Playground, or should I say rapists in the playground. And, it's just a clusterfuck. It's a complete mockery of what gamers used to be like. And, that would be a great blow against that. That would be a great blow against the vileness that has become the Dungeons & Dragons base. Let me give you something straight up. A lot of fundamentalist Christians worry about Dungeons & Dragons from the old 80s pamphlets about it leading to Satan worship. And even though I don't think any Christian actually believes playing a D&D game will compel you or teach you how to worship the devil and have books of spells and things, I think they believe that it sends the wrong message and that it makes devil worship fantastic. It makes the wrong things look heroic. It makes demons look cool. It makes being a murderous psychopath look cool. And that has a psychological effect. I don't believe that personally. I'm just trying to rationalize that stance. But what I do believe is that, what I know is that D&D attracts dregs of the earth. Not to say all D&D players are like that. I play D&D. I'm not like that. But there are a lot of people that are sexual deviants, losers, freaks, and mutants that play D&D. Because, they're not social enough to actually go out and do real hobbies. So they cluster together in mom's basement, and they eat Cheetos, and they fucking play D&D, and they boss each other around. That's what gets me. It doesn't get me the fact that they're antisocial neckbeards that haven't showered in 3 days. That I can deal with that. But what I can't deal with is knowing that you're like that and then having that kind of attitude where you think you're the boss of anybody and you think you're in any position to tell anybody what to do. Richard the Rapist Bueller, take a fucking shower, stop leeching off your fans' money, and stop looking at children menacingly, hoping that they'll come toward your van. And maybe then you can suggest to me what to do. Still not tell me what to do, but give me a suggestion, and I might listen to it respectfully, because I will see you as an equal. But until then, you are a wretch. You are a degenerate, and more or less, I have the legal right to kill you. So, that's what I'm trying to say here. And Monte Cook has the power to do that because he has the knowledge of what Wizards of the Coast is doing, and all it would take is to post anonymously. And then everyone would know, the secret would be out, and Wizards of the Coast would be up shit creek. But he doesn't want to. Why not? He claims it's because he doesn't want drama, and that, he just has personal disagreements, and Wizards of the Coast, he roots for them to be successful with this project. Bullshit. Then why'd you quit? If it was so bad that you had to quit and were not willing to make money, so essentially you gave up money because it was too fucking aggravating or something bothered you about it, but yet you won't indulge as to why. That's what fucking bothers me about D&D players. Seems to be a common mentality among D&D players, that everything's a fucking secret, and there's all this plotting and scheming and worming around that goes on. Like, there was this forum called D&D Online and Mythweavers, and a long time ago, they got into a fight because the Mythweavers moderators were taking donations and just spending it on themselves, hookers and blow. And the D&D Online moderators wanted to use it for the site, actually. God forbid. So they had this big fight because that's fraud. That's legal fraud. To say you're going to use donation money for one reason and then not do it. If I have a jar that says this is for cancer children, and then I spend it on, fucking shisha to smoke hookah on these videos, that's fraud. So why aren't the Mythweavers mods in jail? And so then they fight, they form their two forums, you're not to mention the other forum, Don't Talk About Fight Club again, and for a while this persists, and then all of a sudden, poof, gone. Nobody talks about it anymore. In fact, the last time I got banned from Mythweavers, I threatened to go to D&D Online about it and open that old wound and have all the D&D Online people raid their forum and shit, and they laughed at me and said that they had patched things up, that they had talked about it, and now it's not a big deal, and, I just would look like a fool. What? How do I look like a fool for bringing up the fact that you committed fraud? And how the fuck do you get over something like that? So you mean to tell me that you're willing to have all this drama and shit, and you get over it, but you need to ban people? So you can get over the fact that someone stole from you, someone lied to your face, someone committed fraud to your fan base, lied to everybody, betrayed your trust, but yet you cannot let Jim Profit type his opinion and he's banned for life for whatever reason. That's fucking insane. That's insane, it's evil, and that's why they don't have a right to life. Because what human thinks like that? That's not a human sentiment. That's some kind of fucking vampiric lecher thing, That's what makes me sick about moderators on the internet. And so I just needed to get that out there, and I wanted to explain to you a different kind of evil than the one I usually talk about. So see you later.